How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, as you can see, um, another candidate is running for presidency. It has been revealed that what's his name? Beto O'Rourke. He and his wife, um, their families collectively own slaves, which is not a surprise to me at all. And so I have an article here in the Guardian. Let me see, where is it at? Where that was at? No, that is not the one. Did I lose that article? No, here it is. It is long, real long. So it will be there for the royal family to read at their leisure. And I'm going to read an article, and I have a video to play. How O'Rourke, and I know I'm jacking up his name, or Beto, responded to it. And the video I'm going to show is how the white supremacist is dealing with this. So, in an email to supporters, Beto O'Rourke said he descends from slave owners. Democratic presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke on Sunday disclosed that he and his wife are both descendants from slave owners. The former congressman from Texas said the revelation only increased the urgency I feel to help change this country so that it works for those who have been locked out of or locked up in this system. O'Rourke revealed the information in an email to supporters around the same time. The Guardian posted a story saying it informed O'Rourke that abundant documentation exists of his and his wife Amy's ancestors slave owning, their supporter and their support for the Confederacy. O'Rourke told the newspaper that his family knew nothing about the ties until the Guardian contact to him. You're lying through your motherfucking teeth. As we continue on. In the email, he revealed that he was given documents showing that his paternal great-great-great-grandfather and two women, Rose and Eliza, list as possessions. They were able to build wealth on the backs off the sweat of others. Wealth that would then be able to pass down to their children and their children's children. He wrote, in some way, in some form, that advantage would pass through to me and my children. He added, I benefit from a system that my ancestors built to favor themselves at the expense of others. That only increased the urgency I feel to help change this country so that it works for those who have been locked out of or locked up in this system. As a person, as a candidate for the office of presidency, I will do everything I can to deliver on this responsibility. He's very clever with his words. I noticed he didn't say black folks, even on the title it says slavery, but I just be checking out how people word things, okay? Slave owner. Okay, I do see slave in there. I take that back and stuff. But I don't trust him like I don't trust none of the candidates. And what I do remember is he was running for office, and he played up when Botham Jean was murdered, and he was pandering to our folks at church. And these folks gonna say and do whatever they can because they coming for Trump's neck and stuff. And so one thing that I am not surprised and that I'm happy of, because I have mentioned that we need to, on our, and everybody can do this collectively, we need to, not just the candidates that are running for president, just any of them that are up there in D.C., we need to see, did they family members own slaves? And I did say, and I have others that can back me up behind the scenes, I said if they didn't, check their wives. So that energy is flowing. And so this next, this video that I'm going to play is over on Fox News, and how the enemy is responding to ADOS. Okay? This right here is powerful, my royal family. And this is a result of you and I putting that energy out, staying passionate, and speaking very clear, like I always say, to the universe, because they real pissed off with him, but they are displaying their fears. And remember, I was telling y'all, they have a dark sense of humor. They may chuckle and laugh a little bit here and there, but we pick up on energy, and they piss with him, and what they are fearing is that, and this ain't gonna stop, that more and more of this will be revealed. So let me play this video, and after it's over with, I'll close it out sweet. So O'Rourke said he and his wife, descendants from slave owners, has more personal connection to slavery. Okay, whatever. All this fucking pandering. This video is almost 7 minutes. Make sure I got it right now. Let me go back a little taste. Let's see what we got going here. Oh, come on, not today.
Own land. I don't think you own it.
So O'Rourke told immigrants that our country was founded on white supremacy, slavery. In Nashville, Beto O'Rourke told immigrants that our country was founded on white supremacy, slavery, and oppression. Other than that, we're awesome.
This country was founded on white supremacy, and every single institution and structure that we have in our country still reflects the legacy of slavery and segregation and Jim Crow and suppression, even in our democracy.
So right from the womb, we're all racist. It's the new original sin, according to Slender Man. As his popularity shrinks faster than his own spine, Beto's efforts to sow division only expand. He's like a bitter divorced husband trashing the ex-wife to his poor kids. If he can't be happy, no one can. Used to be that politicians running for office had a number of tools at their disposal. Not Beto. He is the tool. Talk about a blunt object. Its only function is to create victims out of brown and black Americans so that they might look to him, the great white scarecrow, as their savior. But now its true competence is exposed as a farce. For so long, his failures were propped up by a bottomless spousal income, then assisted by a Vanity Fair cover bestowed on him by pale liberals enamored that he looked just like them. He was as white, patronizing, slick, and elitist as the magazine. All that was missing were the smelly cologne ads. He's so white, Wonder Bread could sue him for plagiarism. Now he's reduced to playing for radical scraps, dancing to the fight songs of undergrads and safe spaces, a wind-up toy for brats and Che Guevara shirts. He'll say anything. So now we're all racist. By birth, he shouts, like a hopeless, lonely slob at last call, desperate for a phone number. I'd say, go home, you're drunk, but he might drive. I wonder if I was not mean enough, Dagan.
More mean Greg.
Who thought this guy had any potential? Swalwell looks like Churchill compared to this guy.
Indeed. And he is better looking, and Swalwell's not in it anymore. I'll give him that. So he's going to fight racial inequality in this country, starting with a Vanity Fair cover, and then his follow-up was that story in The New Yorker, which basically no one reads and just tells everybody else that they read it. Can Beto bounce back?
Yes.
I love that. So you can't practice identity politics if you have no personal identity, and he doesn't. You can see the thought bubble over his head. What am I going to do when I'm done with this? Maybe I'll become a dentist.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll learn how to use a loom and make some alpaca throws and sell them on Etsy. He is a nobody, and he is a nothing.
He's the Etsy candidate. So, Juan, I came up with a phrase that I think you'll like. I call it woke shrinkage. It's like if you continue to smear everybody as unwoke and oppressors, you just narrow your party until no one's around you. I call that woke shrinkage. I think that's pretty clever.
So I thought you were saying that you thought it was sort of this political expedience that he was saying this, and he was trying to, in fact, rejuvenate his candidacy, which is what you were saying the New Yorker piece was about, right?
Yeah.
Well, but let me just say, I don't think there's any debate that what he said is true.
Oh, yes, there is.
Yeah,
this
because
was not. Our country was not founded on white supremacy.
Oh.
I would disagree.
Well, I wouldn't, because I would say founders reserved the franchise, the voting franchise, for land-owning white males. I think that was it. In other words, Dagan and Dana couldn't vote. I know I couldn't.
So was
vote.
it founded on sexism
I don't
too?
even think. Do you own land? I don't think you own. Yeah, I don't
So it
think
was
you own
founded on
land.
sexism too, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, I'm
Okay.
just saying. So
Pile it
that
all
was
on
part-
now.
No, I'm not piling on. I mean, in other words, Jesse, to say this is the historical fact is piling. I'm just saying that's the fact.
Barack Obama didn't even say that about our founding.
I'm just telling
Barack
you. I don't
Obama
care
said
who
the
says
most
it.
beautiful, inspiring things about this nation's founding. He didn't get anywhere close to what you said or Beto O'Rourke
Fine,
said.
but
And
I'm
any
just
person
telling
that's
you.
going to run for president
I'm not
of this
running.
country never would say
Well, I
something
think
like
anybody who knows American history would say, okay, so that's reality. The question
that. I don't
is,
think anybody agrees with that one.
Wait, how can you disagree with the idea that that the founding fathers said you got to be a landowning white male to
Just
vote?
because something happened at
Oh.
the time doesn't define the
No,
founding.
what are you talking about?
Just because people had slaves during the founding doesn't mean we were founded on slavery and white supremacy.
I just think that's a fact of our American being, and we
No, it's a fact. It's a flaw, but it doesn't define the founding.
Of course it defines.
No, it
the
does
founding.
not.
All right, let's get. I want to get to Annie.
Hang on, let me just finish this point.
All right.
I think the left sees this, and I think Beto O'Rourke is reflecting that, and says, "Let's fix it. Let's do something about."
He never
racial
tries to fix
injustice."
anything,
I think
except
the
his
right,
teeth.
like you, refuses to even say, "Oh yeah, you know what? That's part of the original."
I said it is. I acknowledge that there was slavery at the beginning
I'm
of the
saying-
founding of this country. I acknowledge that women or black Americans didn't have certain rights. But we fought, and 600,000 people died in the
That's
Civil War
subsequent.
to
He's not-
eradicate
That's
it.
not enough.
He said every institution in this country
It's still-
is racist.
Well-
the military, the
No,
media, the
no.
justice
It's
system,
active.
the culture.
Are you
Everything
kidding?
is racist.
Are
Juan,
you
you don't
kidding?
agree with that.
Are you kidding? The military is our leading example
You're saying
of diversity. But
every
Jesse,
single
the-
institution in this country you
Jesse,
think is
thanks for
racist.
that.
No, but Jesse, even the military.
Okay, so you
as
do
I say,
disagree.
Jesse,
All right,
the
kids.
military
Kids,
has to
am I gonna have to
go through
separate you two?
desegregation.
We can never talk about race anymore, can we?
We can't. I'm going to change it, the topic just a little bit.
Jasper?
No. It's usually a good soother.
I said yes, Jasper.
I think
Yes.
that
He's
Beto
my black brother.
He's brown.
He's brown. He's my brown brother.
and Hungarian by birth. I think Beto O'Rourke is the only one who doesn't know that his campaign is over.
Yes.
And
He's like Bruce Willis in The Sixth Sense.
yes, I never saw it.
I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen
Doesn't it
it.
have a weird ending? Something.
Does it have a weird ending? You didn't see it?
I think I don't remember.
So you don't remember the ending of The Sixth Sense? It's kind of the whole point of the movie is the ending.
I think I
Do you
remember
remember the
that-
ending of the Titanic?
Yes.
The ship doesn't make it through.
And The Sixth Sense does it?
No, yeah. Jaws, about a shark.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of supernatural. Yeah.
Anyway, I think if he keeps going, he's going to ruin his future opportunities to run for other political offices.
Ooh, that's a good little piece of advice from Dana Perino. So in The Sixth Sense, what happens is... No, I can't do that because there are people watching who've never seen the movie.
Oh, come on. That's an old movie. You can do it.
All right, he was dead all along.
Oh, right.
I see dead people.
Yes.
Including the founding fathers.
We tried so hard with you.
Okay, stop that right there. stop that right there. I don't want nothing to pop up here. So, even though they were sitting up there chuckling and laughing and all of that, I did mention, unquote, dark humor. And that was a lot of demonic energy up there. And they were displaying their true nature, but also they was displaying their fears because they afraid that this will catch on, that he's speaking too much truth. I take it, and some people may disagree, but I take it as he is pandering and saying whatever needs to be said in order to get that vote. And I know some of us may, again, sometimes we may feel defeated and saying, what's the purpose of even discussing ADOS, demanding ADOS? Because I'm not asking for anything, I'm demanding what is truthfully ours. This one I go back on the spiritual level, that our spirit is being felt. And it's not all of us on 100% agree with this, but it's enough. It's enough that the enemy is talking about it. And they may talk about it in different forms or fashions, and this is one right here. Because they don't want to hear their own, what it would be more like their own influencing. This guy is young. Their own influencing their children, and that stuff catching on. That is one of their greatest fears. And we are slowly seeing candidates pandering to us. But see, how I look at it is, you will say whatever you want to say to get in that damn office. Whatever you want to say. And then once they get up in there, all of a sudden, I'm the president for America. Well, Trump is letting everybody know I'm a president for white supremacy. It's clear as day. It's clear as day. You can't be everything to everybody. You can't straddle the fence. That's what I don't like about politics. Because you can be really, you can be like really, it's like, they were, I know a few people know that Willie D is, I guess, possibly running for something locally in his state. And Willie D, he has some powerful videos, and he I would imagine he would be quite effective in his community. Well, let's take that way. The community that he came from, that he could help a lot. And what we have to watch for, my royal family, they will see that we can really impact our people and really do and push a narrative and get some things done. And what they will do is they will tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, I got a bigger position for you. And what that does is pull you away from your folks, and then you have to address everyone's needs. So you can come in with the best intentions, and then when you get put in it, and I can imagine some politicians say, damn, what I done got myself into. Now I'm not able to help my people. There are good politicians out there, and some of them just don't realize that because they think if they move 5 or 6 steps up, then they can do these things, but that's what they do. They'll say, okay, this one really got some good leadership qualities and really impacting this community. We're going to pull them. It's different type of things. And I'm not trying to say that Willie D is being bought off or anything like that, because I support his channel. But they are investing, and I say it often, in white supremacy. They're trying to hold on to this thing as long as possible. See, white supremacy has become a burden now. because now you have to fight to hold on to it. And the analogy that I like to use is, say you got a duffel bag with 100 bricks in it, and you must carry it on your back at all times. You're going to eventually put it down. Eventually. So the enemy and the enemy's supporters have a lot to lose. They have a lot of weight to carry. And they fear people just like this dude, who I still think is pandering. They fear it. They don't want it to catch on. You know, they don't want their own to look like them, the young ones, to start forming and molding their thinking. See, we are in a true war. And don't forget, the art of war is psychological. So, I just wanted to put that out there, and I have, I'm going to put that article there. And, it was one more thing I wanted to say. As far as him saying that him and his wife did not know, I don't believe that at all. And the reason why I say that, you are a politician and you know that people are going to dig up shit on you. He has a staff. And let's say way before we even knew who this dude was, if he ain't did nothing, he or she ain't did nothing janky and they pass, you know, the staff will pull it up, reread it, study it, and say, okay, if they come at you this way or that way, if something you did 5 or 10 years in the past, this is how you deflect. And I don't care what he say, he knew. And he quick on his feet, or he was already prepared. So, ADOS, the spirit of ADOS is being felt. We cannot let our ancestors down. This is all or nothing, my royal family. And the enemy and the enemy supporters are going to come at us at different levels and angles. And we are fully equipped to pick up on it and quickly spread it to the royal family. Here come another motherfucker with jokes. And we ain't joking. This is our lives. So, homeboy, we ain't playing that pandering to us and nice guy role and all of that. We done dealt with all of it. All of y'all are predictable. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't care what party it is, and I say it often, your ultimate goal is to uphold white supremacy. You're not going to relinquish your powers. It must be taken. I don't know of a peaceful war anywhere. So, my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.